Alexander, ambitious and fearless, began his conquests, aiming to bring the entire known world under his rule. With Persia's major cities under his control, Alexander turned his attention to the smaller territories, among them, Jerusalem. As Alexander's forces approached Jerusalem, the city's high priest, Jaddua, and its inhabitants were filled with fear. The great warrior king was known for his conquests, his might in battle, and the destruction that often followed in his wake. Jerusalem, a city steeped in ancient traditions and the heart of the Jewish faith, was in his path. But then, something extraordinary happened. Jaddua, the high priest, had a dream. In this dream, he was told to open the city gates and welcome Alexander peacefully, adorning the city in wreaths of flowers and dressing in his priestly garments. The next morning he did exactly as the dream commanded, leading a procession of citizens to meet the Macedonian conqueror. What transpired next was something no one expected. Upon seeing Jaddua and the welcoming party, Alexander dismounted his horse and approached the high priest with reverence. It is said that Alexander recognized the high priest from his own dreams, where a figure dressed just as Jaddua was, had appeared, predicting Alexander's victories. Alexander interpreted this as a divine sign, a confirmation that his path of conquest was ordained by the gods. The feared warrior king, known for his ruthlessness, was moved by this perceived divine intervention. He greeted Jaddua warmly, treating him with respect and dignity. The city of Jerusalem, bracing for a battle, instead witnessed a peaceful surrender. Alexander, moved by his encounter with Jaddua, did not lay waste to the city as he had done with others. He respected the city's sanctity and its people. He allowed them to continue practicing their faith freely, a rare act of religious tolerance in those times. The inhabitants, who had been prepared for the worst, were relieved and even grateful. Their city was spared, their faith was respected, and they found themselves under the rule of a king who, despite his reputation, had shown them kindness. Thus Jerusalem, unlike many other cities, was spared the usual destruction and became a part of Alexander's vast empire. This peaceful encounter was a rare moment of tranquility in the often tumultuous path of Alexander the Great's remarkable journey. Alexander's rule brought significant changes to Jerusalem and the entire region. With the dawn of his reign, the Hellenic culture started permeating every corner of the conquered territories, leaving a profound impact on their societal norms, art, architecture, and ways of thinking. Under Alexander, the construction of new cities surged. These cities were not just political or economic centers, but were also designed as hubs of Hellenic culture. They were adorned with Greek-style architecture, theaters, and gymnasiums, becoming symbols of the marriage between local traditions and the newly introduced Hellenistic elements. The cities served as the perfect vessels for the diffusion of Greek language and ideas, effectively creating a cultural melting pot. The Greek language in particular found its way into the daily lives of the people, becoming the lingua franca of the region. This led to the proliferation of Greek philosophical ideas, scientific theories and literary works, enriching local cultures and stimulating intellectual growth. One of the most significant aspects of Alexander's rule was his policy on religion. Unlike many conquerors of his time, Alexander granted freedom of religion to the people of Jerusalem. This was a game changer. Jerusalem, being at the heart of religious diversity, benefited immensely from Alexander's policy. The Jews were allowed to practice their religion without fear of persecution, which was a rarity in those turbulent times. This freedom not only ensured peace and harmony, but also fostered a sense of mutual respect among different religious groups. In the grand scheme of things, Alexander's reign may appear ephemeral, lasting a mere 13 years. Yet the influence he wielded continues to echo through the annals of history. His rule brought about a cultural revolution, one that shaped the face of Jerusalem and the wider region for centuries to come. Alexander's reign, although short-lived, left an indelible mark on Jerusalem and the wider world. So, what can we take away from this remarkable chapter in history? In a world where empires were built and fell, a young man named Alexander embarked on a conquest that would forever change the course of history. His journey led him to Jerusalem, a city that stood as a beacon of culture and faith amidst the tumultuous landscape of the ancient world. Alexander's encounter with Jerusalem was not one of violence but of mutual respect and understanding. This interaction, unique in the annals of conquest, left an indelible mark on both parties involved. Alexander's rule, though brief, significantly influenced the cultural, political, and religious landscape of the region. These events, taken together, underscore the profound impact of a single individual's ambition on the fabric of history. They serve to remind us that the ripple effect of one person's actions can shape the world in ways unimaginable. The story of Alexander the Great and Jerusalem is a testament to the power of peace, the influence of culture, and the course of history shaped by one man's ambition.